Welcome back to Trumbull Valley, possibly for the last time in a while. If this last mission goes well, this team is going to be leaving Trumbull Valley. We're going to be legacying this community, and it'll kind of be the end of an era for these folks. This community was built of a lot of my favorite characters, and I'm kind of going to be sad to see them go because the next thing I'm planning to do is start a new nightmare community. Freaking bloater, is start a new nightmare community where I go after some of the nightmare boons that I don't have yet. And so that's going to be fun and cool, but I'm probably not going to bring some of my favorite characters with me for that. So that means that Jack Kilgore, Attorney at Law, probably not going to be there. Washington, the guy I'm playing right now, who is sort of my Cleo expert, he's not going to be in that group. Becky the Bunny Lord, who's been in this team for a while, she's not going to go. So, it's a little bit of a sad time, but at the same time, I think it's going to be satisfying to sort of wrap up this story, retire this particular playlist, and move on to something else. Because I've been playing, this playlist has got a lot of episodes in it. The Salt of the Earth playlist, I think I just hit 47 with Salt of the Earth. I just hit 65 with the Lion's Share. We've got some long-running playlists, and so it's actually going to be kind of good for me to give it a break and start something new from scratch. So we're heading up here. So when we originally shipped Trumbull Valley, actually, I think one of the reasons why I chose a trader as my leader was because I knew that we actually had we found out right before we shipped the Homecoming update that we had shipped a bug with the trade summit, where actually if you tried to play this final mission, it wouldn't work because the enemies they would spawn, but they would not be able to find their way to their destination, and so they would just run off instead. And it would totally, unless you were extremely lucky, it would totally ruin that final mission. And so one of the reasons I made my leader a trader was so that I could show that, like, when we checked in, like when we sort of shipped the update that fixed this bug, I wanted to be able to demonstrate that the bug was fixed. But then I never actually bothered. Like, I never actually bothered to do this final mission and show that it was fixed. So I guess we're doing it now. It's no longer... Oh, crap! I got distracted by the freaking noise, and now I've just canceled the mission. Well, I guess this episode's gonna be longer. Sheesh. I've done that before, haven't I? Just canceling the mission by just hitting the A button without noticing where the cursor was. Dang it! Dang it! Dang it! Well, what am I gonna do now? I gotta kill a bunch of time waiting for that thing to restart. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? You know what I'm gonna do? Wait a minute. So first off, I'm trying to remember the powerhouse move. So this is something that Coalition has been bugging me to do. I'm trying to remember if this character has it. So this character has got prowess. Not prowess. This character's got heroism, which I don't think this one has got that move. So I don't think this character could run up and test out that move for you on that Feral Coalition. Sorry about that. But... oh yeah, so that's what I thought. The Red Talon Agents don't have the double kick because they have other moves instead that sort of fill that role. So, actually, I know the other thing I was going to do. So let me just get up to a fairly safe-ish location. I don't know, in here maybe. So what I'm thinking is that mission will probably come back faster if I quit and return. So let's do that. Let's quit and return. And then, yeah, we'll come back in. Oh, Sada Hotpot was pointing out that actually Powerhouse isn't... that's not a fighting skill upgrade. That is a cardio skill upgrade. So that means I should have looked at Prowess, actually. Prowess was the right place to look to see if I had that advantage. So, yeah. Come on, game. Zombie threat at home? Are you kidding me? Freaking Haven device, man. Oh, whoa. There's a hostile enclave that spawned right there. Probably because we needed hostiles to attack that mission. During that mission. So, okay, the problem with the zombie threat at home is that it casts every character in the base. And so that means that until the zombie threat is resolved, I'm betting I can't get the final mission. So now, I need to drive home. I'm so annoyed at myself. But I'm also a little bit annoyed at how our game works. Like, so that dialogue pop-up, that was kind of a fix to a problem. We did not originally plan these missions around the idea that we would need to give the player a warning that says, hey, you're about to end the game. And it's kind of an awkward, weird thing, right? That, like, basically, late in development, after the missions were already largely implemented, we realized players might not understand that this is the final move, and it's gonna, it's gonna end their story. And because players might not be down for that, we need to warn them that, at the point where they're committing, we need to warn them that that's a thing. And so, unfortunately, we didn't have like a really good spot to do it, so we just ended up creating this pop-up, which it's really awkward, and I'm not a huge fan of it. And so, unfortunately, like that frustrating experience that I just had is because we chose a really just not that great way to handle that situation. Okay, so I'm gonna need eventually gas. So let's just do a quick little swap here. No! No. Is this just going to be the episode where I constantly hit the wrong button? Is that what this is going to be? Okay, here we go. Refueling the Kaiser. Oh, right. So Coalition is reminding me that if I want to skip the zombie threat, let's not play out the... Ooh. I have never actually done this. So Coalition is suggesting that I should use a weird exploit to skip the zombie threat mission. You know what? I'm going to do it. I've never done this before, but what he's telling me is that I should switch characters at an outpost. And what that does is it sends my current character home, which basically counts as triggering the mission, but then I'm also instantly away from home, which means it resolves the mission as though I'm away from home. So I'm simultaneously going home and being away from home. And that kind of, it ends the mission in this sort of abrupt, awkward way. But, so here's the problem, though. I don't remember which version. I don't have any ammo at my base. And I'm not sure if this solution requires me to have ammo to avoid, like, bad things happening to my community. Okay. So let's... I don't know. I don't actually understand this well enough, but, this is a rare opportunity to check this out. So I'm going to try it anyway. So we're up here in the outpost. So let's switch. Coalition is just absolutely desperate for me to try this with a character with Powerhouse. I don't know if I have a character with Powerhouse. I do. I've got Jack Kilgore. The thing is, I'm hoping that the final mission is actually going to start fairly soon. So... Okay, yes, okay. So what happens is... Right. Okay, so it doesn't do the version where I'm away from home, where it costs ammo. It does the proper version, except I'm just not there for it. In fact, I'm so far away that no real zombies are going to be able to spawn. No real combat is going to happen. And so it's just sort of... So I get to listen to everyone speak the dialogue. Okay, so we were saying that feral was up here somewhere, wasn't it? In fact, I don't think I need to mark this. I know where I'm going. So yeah, Coalition is constantly telling me that I need to do specific combat moves and things to entertain them. And I usually don't do it. Because I forget, honestly, is the main reason. But since I got nothing better to do, let's go looking for a feral for me to try this powerhouse move on. Let me just remind myself what the controls are. So this powerhouse move, hold LB and hit A to do the dropkick maneuver. So that's what I'm going to do. So yeah, you can hear it. So you can tell all of that dialogue that gets spoken during a siege, it's all just on a timer. It's just scheduled, basically. They're not reacting to real things that are happening, though I guess it is timed with like different waves and things, but the zombies come in so continuously, it doesn't really feel like waves a lot of the time. So yeah, so it's not really people reacting to the situation, they're just playing dialogue on a clock. And so since the clock is running, we get to hear the dialogue even though nothing is happening at base because I'm too far away. So Malator says that they think that I might need to go home to finally resolve the siege mission. I'm not sure one way or the other. I mean, if I'm far enough away, the final objective is just clear all the zombies from your house. But since all the zombies... I mean, there's going to be no zombies spawned there because I'm so far away. That should work out. Let's just see what happens. In the meantime... Now, I don't want to get too close to that hostile enclave. So I want to be very cautious up here. So we did hear that feral shout somewhere around here. My character is talking like we're still in the base. That's great. Okay. Yeah, so I don't want to get too close. Okay, so I could have sworn that I heard a feral up here, but maybe the feral despawned. Actually, wait a minute. I left and came back, didn't I? Of course the feral despawned. Let's go by these hostiles really fast.
How many more Zeds are out there?
Yeah. Okay, there's no Zeds. I'm sorry, no ferals. So yeah, so Coalition, you might not get what you're asking for. If I don't happen to run into a feral between now and when I manage to get that mission to fire. Oh, okay, it says clear out the remaining zombies. That doesn't fire off until I'm near the base. Interesting, Malator, you're right. Oh, that's so funny. Why does that only work if I'm present? That seems like the kind of thing that you would be able to resolve by leaving a place and despawning all the zombies. So I guess if I just didn't care that the mission was still ongoing, I could stay out as long as I wanted to. Okay, so actually, given the fact that, yeah, this did not actually help with anything, because I still had to wait through the entire duration of the siege. I still have to go home. Actually, I think this might have taken more time. Like, if I had actually just walked into my base when we first decided that I was going to try this exploit, if I had just decided to walk into my base, we would have finished this faster. It would already be over. In fact, it would have ended sooner because it would have started sooner. That's funny. So, if anyone was going to get killed during that fight, we just saved ourselves that. So we took a safer choice, but it wasn't a faster choice. All right, so we'll head inside. Wow, okay. All right, well, I believe that the mission should still spawn even if I am Washington already. So switch back to Washington. And now we need to wait. So I don't know, should I just like... I don't know how much time it will take for that mission to fire again. This is so obnoxious. Okay. So I'm just going to stand up here on this car and hang out. Should we just do an AMA while we're waiting? Just like, ask me questions, everybody. Let's see if I can answer them. So yeah, so Coalition, it does make sense that basically if you want to avoid spending ammo on a siege and you want to avoid the fight in the siege, but time really isn't the thing that you're worried about, then yeah, then that exploit is nice because you skip all of that and eventually you're going to have to go home no matter what. And so whenever you come home, that resolves the siege and it's over. And great, you don't have to think about it. But since my goal was actually to wrap things up faster so that I could try to do this final mission, which I hope spawns eventually, that ended up not being the best choice. But it is kind of fun that I actually did stream that exploit now. It's like I do like sort of showing weird parts of the game on my stream. So it was still a good idea. I don't regret it, but it's interesting realizing that it didn't have the effect that I expected it to have. So Coalition asks, how hard is it to edit weapons? So depending on the kind of thing you want to do. I mean, if you want to make art changes to a weapon, and particularly if you're trying to like mess with, for instance, how the the magazines load and unload and stuff like that, I think there's some. I don't know how tough that is because that's on the art side, and that's just not my specialty, and so I couldn't tell you how hard it is. But on the design side, like tuning the balance stuff, the damage and the ammo numbers and stuff like that, that's actually pretty easy. Like we've actually got it's one of the more developed parts of our tools. We actually use the same editor to mess with the weapons that we use to mess with the missions, but the weapon data is very different from the mission data. We've actually got some extra tools built up around the weapon data that lets us do things like compare weapons directly with each other, stack up their stats, and we've also set it up so the weapons are hierarchical. Like all of the weapons that are the same caliber are actually deep under the surface the same weapon. They're just sort of like mutated children of the same weapon. Okay, somebody mentioned trade in the dialogue, but it's actually just a wandering trader showing up. So it's not that hard to change it. The main thing is just, the thing that takes the most time is actually just testing it to make sure that we didn't break something. So we always have this sort of boilerplate amount of time that we always spend on every change that we make to make sure that we're not screwing it up. And so making the changes fast, verifying the change and making sure we're confident in the change, that we actually did a good thing, is the thing that's more costly. Jedi Cytric says, I'm working with someone to make an educational mobile game. What advice do you have for us so we don't mess up terribly? I mean, the thing, like, educational mobile games aren't really different on a fundamental level from every game. And so it's just all of the advice. All of the advice applies. I'm not even sure where to start, honestly. I think the main thing that, when you know something is educational up front, it is easy to sort of to prioritize the information that you're relaying over the fun. And the thing, like, so my kids actually have a fair number of like educational things that they do, like even for the school, where they'll say, hey, you should go, do this, use this online resource to learn how to do this thing. And they'll go there and it'll be actually like a little game that they play to learn math or something like that. And some of them my kids look at and resent because basically it's just like homework, but there's a few of them my kids will actually go out of their way to play. They actually enjoy it and they seek it out. And I think they end up learning those subjects better than the subjects that they're being taught in a more sort of like, well, let's make sure that this is highly educational and limit the amount of fun that you can have, with them. Like the ones that are more, that de-emphasize the fun end up teaching you less, actually, because you kind of resent that you're there and you do the bare minimum and then you leave. Whereas the ones that are actually fun and engaging, my kids will just do because they want to. And they end up learning the thing because, my son, Milo, he learned to read, because he cared about understanding, video game UI. And so people, if they care about a subject because it helps them with something fun, they'll be much more likely to learn it than otherwise. Jedi Cytrix, I don't remember which games I'm talking about. I know that my kids have done that, but I've forgotten which games. I couldn't name them for you. I'm sorry. If I track it out, I'll ask my wife to remind me. If I can remember, I'll try. Maybe I'll tweet it at you. Let's see here. So again, I think another mission popped up, but it is not the mission that I actually wanted. Nope. My legacy is still sitting there, waiting for me. Don't know what's gonna happen. Oh, so Jedi Centric says that actually that's how their 7-year-old also learned how to read, is in order to read video game UI. That's funny. Okay, so going back to, let's see what I've missed here. Okay. Okay, yeah. So the Coalition was saying that when they gave me the advice that I should use that exploit, it was when I was I didn't read it until I was already at home. If I had read it when I was far away, it would have been a quicker way to start the siege. And so that makes a lot of sense. So no matter what, you gave me good advice, Coalition, and I definitely was not saying it was bad advice. Just it was funny how it turned out. Seta Hotpot said, is it possible to make plague samples of different types depending on what freak you kill? So we thought about that a little bit, because I know that the blood plague bloaters in Heartland, for instance, give you a different resource than the other zombies through a special process. And we actually thought about, would it be interesting to bring that mechanic over to the regular game? And we've also thought about other things like maybe if killing juggernauts gave you some special resource. Would it be more interesting to run around and seek out those tougher fights in order to get something that you want? And so that's definitely a thing that we found appealing. We haven't figured out exactly what we would do with those resources if we did create it. But that is something, just the whole idea of giving you a reason, but beyond just fun, a reason why it's economically a good idea to be killing zombies. It's an interesting decision because on one side, the part of my brain that loves getting prizes and pursuing things that will explicitly reward me. I mean, that's a thing that that appeals to me, and I always want that from a game. But at the same time, when that is present in a game, it has a tendency to it'll definitely make you feel rewarded, but feeling rewarded is different from feeling fun. And so it's entirely possible for you to actually sap the fun of something by making it too explicitly reward focused. And so we'd have to be very cautious. I still think it might be a good idea. I think it might still be a net gain, but we'd have to be careful if people, end up feeling like fighting juggernauts is now a chore they have to do instead of a fun thing they might want to do. Now, I think with juggernauts in particular, I personally avoid them like the plague. If I don't need to fight a juggernaut, I don't fight a juggernaut. And so even though it can be fun to fight a juggernaut, I avoid it because it's so scary. And so I could see juggernauts in particular being a case where adding a reward to it might actually improve the experience broadly, because people avoid them so much that actually they might have more fun if they're encouraged and incentivized to fight them. But if it was a zombie that I have to fight a lot anyway, and we just added a reward to it, that might actually make me feel like I have to do it a lot now, do it more than I want to, and I was already doing it anyway, and it might not add something to the game the same way that it would for Juggernaut. So anyway, that's the way I would think about it if we did go about that. But it's not high in our priority list right now, though it is sitting in our idea backlog. Oh, so La Coalición was asking me, and I suspected this, was asking me how hard it is to edit weapons, because I want to make a suggestion for specific weapons that we should edit, and wanted a verification from me that it wouldn't be that hard. So again, the question is just satisfying ourselves that we made the right choice. That does take effort, regardless of whether actually changing the numbers is difficult. But yeah, so the weapons that you craft yourself in the forge, I could totally see. I think they were probably among the best weapons when we first made them. But now that we've been through the whole bounty broker and we've added so many, there's been some power creep in our game. So I think some of the earlier weapons have been left behind. I know you've also suggested that the Clio weapons need to have some of their downsides sort of removed, because they don't feel like they can compete with the bounty weapons, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And so let me actually, I'll note that down, because I'm not sure where that is in our priorities, and it does seem like, because it's not time consuming to implement, it might be a thing that if we have just a little bit of extra time here or there, that might be a thing worth pursuing. So specifically, it was the Clio and the Forge weapons that feel like they might have fallen behind. So yeah, I'll write that down. Okay, so I don't know how... I assume that there is a timer. Here it comes! Okay. I was just about to say, dang, it's taken a long time. Here we go. We're actually ready to wrap this up.
Definitely. I like what I'm hearing.
Okay, so before I go, it looks like we've got a couple of suggestions. Yeah, so So Rainfall says, personally, I don't feel that the plague sample reward for beating a blood jug is worth the cost of killing, so I usually avoid them mostly too. So yeah, so I think if there was a resource you could only get from killing a jug that is not plague samples, if there was something that was different and better, then that might actually encourage people to fight juggernauts when they normally wouldn't. So so that's a good point. Skizit wants to know, does nighttime change any game mechanics? It slightly increases the number of zombies that we spawn, and I think that really is it. I don't think anything else about the game changes, which is kind of a missed opportunity. I feel like there's a lot more we could have done. It's certainly, like, you look at a game like, say, Dying Light, for instance, where they do so much with the day and night cycle. The fact that we do practically nothing with it is kind of a missed opportunity. I'd love to do more with that sometime in the future. Malator is asking if we're likely to ever have dedicated servers in our game sometime in the future of the franchise. And so that's a question I probably can't really answer because there's a lot of different... I mean, we've talked about it before, how, it's expensive to do dedicated servers, even though it also opens up some possibilities for better play experience for players. And it's difficult to sort of work out the economic pros and cons of making that choice. And so I've talked about that through in the past. I definitely would not take it off the table as a possibility, especially as, cloud gaming becomes a more common thing, where just, there's a lot of games out there that do sort of depend on a server infrastructure. As that becomes more and more common, it might end up becoming more economically viable to do that in more places and more circumstances. But I can't make you any promises one way or the other about whether this franchise will take advantage of it in one way or another. But yeah, it's not off the table. I'll say that. It's not something that we would never do. I just I can't promise you when or how. Artalvo says, could you make consumables like screamer vocal cords? It could be used to make a syringe that gives you an echolocation option. Yeah, so there's all kinds of crazy stuff you could imagine doing, right? I like that. I think it's hard to justify the science behind that, but then again, it's hard to justify the science behind half the stuff we do in this game. So whatever. So yeah, that is the kind of thing I'm thinking we would do. Like if we decided to come up with special drops for characters, yeah, something that lets you detect zombies through walls or whatever. That kind of thing could be really clever. Of course, we already have the mini map that kind of does that if you've got the scouting skill anyway. But yeah, we'd have to think. So Jedi Cytric says, I was just about to leave. That's why that's when the mission showed up. Actually, I was about to go out to the main menu again to try it to try to trigger it again. So I'm glad that it showed up when it did. Otherwise, I would have actually slowed it down by leaving for the main menu and coming back. Okay, this time I will not hit the button. I will not hit the wrong button. I will not hit the wrong button. Yes, I would like to start the final mission. You know what we should do? The no should also be a hold action. They should both be hold actions. That's the... You know what? Actually, honestly, I'm going to write this down right now. Because now that I've... Yeah. The no should be a hold action. Now, I just said that hold actions are terrible for accessibility, and I'm so sorry. But also... they're a good solution for that particular problem for everyone else. And if we do, what we need to do is at some point offer the option to turn off all hold actions and then give alternatives in those locations just to make sure that we're covered. But for people for whom hold actions are okay, that's probably the best solution for that particular problem. All right, so here we go.
This place seems too good to be true.
We're going to talk to all these people. Uh-oh. Okay, it says I should talk to people, but apparently there's already zombies. Wait, what the? Okay, they're taking care of the... Is this part of the mission? I feel like this is supposed to happen after we talked to people. Was this just random? I don't remember. Anyway, let's talk to these people. Yeah! Let's have conversations. I don't care what's in them. Let's just have them. Where's that last person? Did he run out the... I feel like he ran out the door.
Karma's a fucking bitch, isn't it?
Oh, my door is being knocked on, so just 1 second. Okay, I'm back. Anyway. Oh, bad guys. Bad things are happening with bad guys. Hey. Did I just shoot the ground around that guy and not shoot the guy? I think I did. Okay, looks like there's one more target here. Hey, attacker. Where are you going? What? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. What is this nonsense? Ugh. They're under the ground. How did they get under the ground? Of course, that's exactly what I needed right now, right? Unfortunately, if I leave the area to try to despawn and respawn them, that's gonna mess things up. Okay, let's try fire. I don't think it's gonna work, but let's try fire. Okay, they're rolling around at least. Oh, they are catching fire. I guess. I don't think that's gonna be enough to kill him though. Let's try it again. Oh, this is so obnoxious. This is so obnoxious. Okay, let's see how far we can go. Let's see how far away we can go
We just gotta put an outpost there.
and not cancel the mission. Nope. I can't go very far. And I think that was definitely not far enough away to fix this problem. Dang it! We like altered a bunch of stuff to make this doable. Ugh. Why? Why? So La Coalition is suggesting. So this, yeah, he's saying that my Wilkerson fire should be enough. It's not. I've been using the Wilkerson fire. That is Wilkerson fire that I've been using. Ooh, Coalition just suggested. Wait a minute. Oh wait. Oh, they finally. They gave up. Yes. Oh, good.
Listen, I'm glad we're all okay. Dumbass raiders.
Okay, so we do have a failsafe built in. When somebody can't path, they will eventually teleport. So I guess it worked. So there we go. Let me catch up a little bit here with the chat. Because yeah, because I was using Wilkerson fire on them, and so I think that's. Oh, Sada Hotpot suggested that maybe I needed to turn away for them to be willing to teleport. I'm not sure. That I could imagine it working that way. Maybe. Interesting. All right. Oh yeah, but oh, Coalition made another suggestion, not the fire thing. Made the suggestion that I could have used sniper support. Do I have sniper support? I'm not actually sure I have that. Oh no, rooftop sniper. I do have that. Okay, so that you're right. That would have been a good option to try because I think. So what it does is, I think it chooses a person. It might actually fire a bullet at the person. And if it does fire a bullet at the person from the sky, the bullet could maybe still hit collision. And it might still not have worked. I'm not sure if it would have worked. That is a good suggestion. That is what I should have tried next, Coalition. Anyway. All right. So anyway, let's wrap this up. This has been painful enough. Let's get it done. Debrief with Scrappy.
Oh man, this day just keeps getting worse.
Oh, right. Of course. This is the zombie attack. That first zombie attack wasn't the real one. This is the real one.
Got more zombies heading right for us.
So, Cogs is asking, next time I stream, if I can try more options for not having my stream be quality locked. So this is a thing that happens to Cogs all the time. His internet connection is not great. And so when my stream is locked at the maximum quality, which, I stream at, 1080p, and when it's locked at the top quality, it actually makes it really difficult for Cogs to watch. And so he was asking if I can try some other tricks to try to make that turn off. I'm happy to try. Yeah, maybe next time it happens, if I'm, maybe in between in between games or something. Like if it's a I don't remember what your solution was, because I know that we've tried like restarting the stream a couple of times, and and that didn't help. I don't remember. I don't think I actually caught what your suggestion was for fixing it. But if it's a particularly intrusive one that would sort of mess up the stream, then maybe we can try it in between game sessions or something. Because yeah, if there is a way for me to make this stream more accessible to more people, regardless of their internet connections, I would like to do that. So yeah, maybe we can experiment with something next time, Cogs. Why exactly am I wasting all my Cleo ammo on this? I don't know. I think I just want everything to happen faster. Which weapon is this anyway? Oh, the Cleo battle rifle. I love the Cleo battle rifle. Anybody else? I'm just killing them too fast. Oh, hi. Screamer? Where? Oh, down there. Who else? Oh, there's somebody inside. So I've got space in my inventory. I wonder if there's something I want to bring. Ooh, I like bell clubs. What else? Come on. 5 seconds? A juggernaut? We don't need a juggernaut. Do we need to defeat the juggernaut before we're done? So it waited until the juggernaut showed up. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, the juggernaut doesn't count as being in the building. I might be able to just ignore the juggernaut. Hey, Scrappy. Yeah, let's not fight the juggernaut. Let's just pretend he's not there. That's great. Was that it?
Yo, congratulations on making this trade plan come together.
Is the juggernaut even there?
A lot of people happy.
Did it die?
Big deal.
Did it disappear? It might have disappeared. That's weird. We had the buggiest version of this that we could possibly have. That was crazy. Now we're just staring at zombie crotch. Okay. Well, here we go. We'll watch the final thing. All right.
I know y'all had your doubts along the way. Listen, I did too. We turned this town into something that can really last. And hey, why stop here? If we can do this once, we can do it again, right? I mean, that's how we win this thing, working together, one town at a time.
Okay. Even that ending cutscene was messed up. He didn't say one of the lines. There was no music in the background. What the heck? Okay, yeah, so I've already earned the Trader Boon up to Dread Zone, so I didn't get anything new from that. And now, okay, here comes the big decision. We've got 6 more survivors than we can possibly keep. So I gotta figure out who I don't care about. So, definitely people who we need to keep include Becky the Bunny Lord, Jack Kilgore, Cal Puncher, Screamer, Washington, and the rest of these folks are less important to me. I might let some of them go, because those first 5 are the ones I have the strongest memories of. I do really like Nines. Nines is pretty cool, even though she's new. She's got, like, a cool name. And so, you know, but, like, Fraser, Chicho, Ryan, Nate, not really that important to me. So let's see So if I were to keep everyone here, I would need to find 6. The thing is, they've all got a lot really nice gear, though. So if I find 6 people here that I don't care about, that I can get rid of, then fine. So one thing, we don't really organize these characters, so it's easy to find people you care about. Like, okay, like Nancy, for instance. She's music. You know, I feel like, and it's been a long time since I played her. Whitney, Scrum certification, low cardio. Okay, I kind of like her because she's a little bit of a disaster, and she's a video game producer. That's kind of fun. Actually, let me move my head over here for it. Actually, down here is probably the least UI-ful place. But it's not that great. Airy is a bunny person. That's kind of cool. Boots. I love Boots. Boots is a great name. And Esther. I feel like I've had Esther a long time. She's another music expert, though. You know what? Death to musicians. What else? Demetrius. He's a squid. I like Demetrius. Ooh, Kylie Tang. She's got she's customizable. That seems valuable. Programmers are really valuable. What else we got here? Yeah, I got a lot of plumbers. Tamati's a plumber, and I think Roberts is a plumber. Brian, programmer. That's pretty valuable. Herb, sewing. That's among the better of the quirk traits. And Herb is just a neat name. Andrea with her people skills, and she's a con artist who cleaned offices. That's kind of neat, but yeah, there's not a lot there. Deathwish only has people skills, but her name is freaking Deathwish, so she gets to stick around. Kim the engineer. How many? Like, what's my most common thing that I've got a lot of here? I feel like I'm actually pretty well distributed among all of these different... Okay, Christy with her nutrition. Not that exciting. I feel like she was in one of my cooler communities. Oh, Ford. Ford with his excuses. I mean, he's a terrible character. But sometimes my favorite characters are terrible characters. And Gunny. Gunny's such a great name. I gotta go with Gunny. Richie is medicine, which is important, but... I mean, I think I've got a lot of those, right? Do I have a lot of... Oh, wait. So Tova's a crap mechanic. But she's also, like, she's been a leader. I want to keep that kind of history, you know? So Richie the doctor... So I'm actually not seeing a lot of doctors here, come to think of it. I'm not seeing a lot of doctors. Why do I have so few doctors? That's weird. Asuncion is into utilities. I've actually got a fair number of, like, plumbers and... Did I see somebody who's into electrical? Yeah, Ramirez is electrical. So somebody who's just utilities? Yeah, maybe I don't really care about her. I've got 4. But maybe there's some people here. Like, I've got so many engineers and auto mechanics. Maybe I can lose some of those. Like, maybe, you know... Maybe Chema. And maybe Fraser. Maybe I don't really need these folks. Oh, except... Oh, she's a lung cancer survivor with terrible cardio. That makes me like her more. That makes me like her more. Oh, Coalition's giving me a bunch of messages. So Coalition wants me to ask around about how muzzle attachments affect weapon durability, since muzzle attachments no longer show their effect on weapons. So I'm trying to remember... Why do they not? Oh, it's because we don't know which weapon you're going to install it on. And so that means, that's actually, hold on. I'm going to look into that. Is there a way to show effects of attachments? Because when we changed the way, when we added the sidearm feature, we changed the way that the process of attaching attachments works, and I think we probably did lose some information there. So yeah, that seems worthwhile. Oh, specifically the durability effect doesn't show. Okay, then that's probably a bug that we should log. So I'll bring that up. So Chicho, the... Man, okay, we got so many people with bad cardio in this team. What is the deal? You know what? Let's lose Chicho. So, okay, so now we've got 50 of 50. We're keeping the people we want. We'll continue. And now it's time to watch the credits. We've watched the credits a lot, though, so I might actually not sit through the entire credits this time. Even though, theoretically... Actually, you know what? We've never sat through the Homecoming credits. So let's look at this, at least, because we should see a lot of the newer additions to the team. Like, you know, Sarah, Burfu, and, you know... Like, they're our analytics team, which, you know, I think we gained fairly late in the process. And so they weren't in the credits until fairly recently. There we go. Oh, look, design team. That's us. Note that Joe Swarner got a design credit with Homecoming, which is pretty cool. Sada Hot Paws says they love this this credits music. So yeah, no, me too. It's great. So yeah, Coalition asks, do we update the credits? Yeah, we do. So basically, this is the credits for Homecoming. So we kind of go through, our credits kind of go through stages of the game backwards. So you see Valkyrie Entertainment, we've got them there. So this is all, so the Homecoming section is the updated credits for the most recent version of the team. But then as we continue in the credits, it'll show earlier iterations of the game because we've had just a whole host of like different people cycling through a lot of these roles over the course of the game, and everybody deserves credit for what they've done. So here's the Juggernaut Edition credits. So this is from 2020. And so again, you got analytics. Sarah was there, but Burfu had not joined the team. And now we've got like a whole, like, you know, Scott Dickey, for instance, was just listed as an animator, which, you know, he was off the team by the time we got to Homecoming, but he was there and really essential for you know, setting up heavy weapons and stuff in the Juggernaut Edition, stuff like that. So there's a lot of different ways you can handle credits over time as the game is being supported, but this is what we did. We sort of did like different iterations of the game and sort of showed them there. So yeah. Jedi Sectric says that she was just jamming to the music as well. So Alpha Wolfman 98 asks, is calling in legacy survivors on the radio coming soon? Maybe update 30. So I can't tell you any specifics, of course, of unannounced features or things like that, but that is high on our priority list. So yeah, I wish I could give you, you know, timelines on sort of more distant goals and things like that, but I can't. But yeah, you know, that has been near the top of our priority list, but just barely beneath the cut line for like 2 years now. It's something we're desperate to do. So yeah, at some point, I would be really surprised if you didn't get to do what you want there. And I appreciate your patience, Alpha Wolfman. I mean, it's been obvious for a very long time that was a feature we should have, and I'm sorry that it's taken this long for us to get around to it. Anyway, it is almost dinner time around here, so as much as I would actually really love to sit through all of the credits for the game, I actually probably do need to move. So I'm going to skip. But at the very end here, real quick. Oh, Dougie Fresh asks, would we call in a random survivor or get to pick one? I think calling in a legacy survivor would make no sense if you didn't get to pick them. Just because, I mean, people have characters that they want to play. People have characters they want to preserve for history. You have a lot of different opinions about your characters, and the last thing I would ever want to do is, like, force you to play a character. Like, especially if you're in, like, the lethal zone or something. Force you to bring a character in that you did not intend to bring in. That would be a bad experience. All right, so, campaign. New community is now an option. I've got an empty slot. So next time I come back to stream State of Decay 2, we're going to be starting a new Nightmare community, a new playlist, and we'll see if we can get me some of those sweet, sweet Nightmare boons. Whew. Yeah, Jedi Sectrix is like, for instance, we don't want to kill the Bunny Lord. We absolutely do not. I was kind of sad that we killed Medina. But yeah, so we don't want to kill the Bunny Lord. So she's going to stay safe in the Legacy pool until I know I want to bring her out. Dougie Fresh says, well, you could make it random as long as you could send them back. And you know, that is potentially true, but that also sounds like a hassle. If we can give you the ability to target exactly which person you want to bring into your game, that just feels like a better experience, right? That would allow you to, like, really precisely dream team, build a team of people that are exactly who you want to play. So that would be really cool. So anyway, I can't, unfortunately, there's probably as much as I should say until, we actually are in a position to really implement a feature like that, really have an announcement about it, which we don't. And so, I can't give you any timelines or anything like that on it, but it is a high priority for us. I can give you that much. All right. Anyway, so I need to go. So let's wrap this up. If you want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, there's that. I'll put a link to some future episode up here. It won't be a Trumbull Valley episode because we're done with those.